So with the recent Russell Westbrook popcorn situation, I thought I would share with you guys a time that I had an incident, a story I've never told before, man, with a fan while playing basketball. So back in 2009, I played for the NBBAGCA, the National Basketball Boys and Girls Club Association, minus the NBA part. It was just the Boys and Girls Club League. And my 0-14 season was on the line, man. It was the final game of the year. Fourth quarter, I hit a three-pointer. We played some defense, came back, made another three-pointer, and at that point, the game was over. The score was 101-17. We did not get blown out by 100 points for the first time that season. Now, at that point, I'm pretty dang sweaty, man. You know, I not only have sweat from the game, but also, grease on me from the previous night's chicken nugget binge. And at that point, I decided to take my shirt off. I was sweating, man. And at the moment that this sculpted body of the gods was revealed to the fans, there was one in particular fan that screamed down, "Put your shirt back on, bitch tits!" Now, I don't know who said that, but I did not like it. Now, I narrowed it down to it not being a fan of my team because the only people that went to my games was literally my grandma. And if my grandma said that, well, God rest your soul, I do forgive you. Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So with NBA fans starting to go back to games, we are now seeing just an uptick in different incidents and some horrible situations actually happening. And I don't know if these are things that have always happened or just things we're noticing now because you go from having no fans to having all the fans back. But we're going to talk about it for today's video, man. Now, before we get going on this, remember, guys, for every 100 likes this video gets, I will do one push-up in my next video. I think we got 17 push-ups at the end of today's video from the Luke Kennard video and the Clippers video we did yesterday. So, yeah, man, we'll do it at the end of this video. But let's go ahead and get going on this. I want to give you guys my personal thoughts and opinions on it. Okay, so we are going to talk about some situations, and I'm going to be like, that's okay, or that's a garbage thing to do. So starting off with the Russell Westbrook popcorn thing, basically, Russell Westbrook, who, by the way, has had a lot of run-ins with a lot of fans over the years. I don't know what it is about Russell Westbrook, but even just going on social media and the internet in general, there's a lot of hate towards Russell Westbrook. I don't know if it's just because maybe at times he can come off as arrogant, but I think a lot of that stems from, people treat him the certain way. So when he's talking to the media or stuff, it's he doesn't really want anything to do with them. He just wants to go out there and play some basketball. I think that's completely okay, right, man? Especially if that's how he's been treated over the years. But basically, he had an injury, so he was going to the locker room tunnel, and a fan of the other team, of the Philadelphia 76ers, decided to pour popcorn on his head. That is a situation where it's a garbage thing to do, man. In my own personal opinion, if a fan says anything racist or does anything physically to you, I think at that point, security guards should all just go into a separate room. I think the gates should drop down on all the arena doors. And I think the announcer should come out and say, "Let's get ready to rumble." And at that point, man, fists can fly. Think about it like this. If you worked as a bank teller, I used to be a bank teller during high school, right, man, and early on in college. If you used to be, or if you were a bank teller and somebody came and was like, "Hey, can I cash this $20 check?" You cash the check for them and you give them back 4 $5 bills, but they want a $20 bill. But you said, "Yo, we got 20s, man." It's happened. Actually, we ran out of $10 bills a lot for whatever reason. At that point, they just took their damn popcorn, threw it in your face. Bitch, you throw hands! Sorry. I would, at least. I feel like it's this double standard when it comes to really sports in general, where fans are allowed to do whatever they want towards the players without repercussion. And then the players just have to take it. And if they do anything back, then they're viewed upon as a villain. And we're going to get more into that, man. You guys see I'm wearing a Pistons shirt. Come on, man. My franchise, we are not, unwilling or unknowingly to the idea of trash talk and fighting and stuff. I mean, Bill Laimbeer is literally one of the most hated guys of all time, right, man? Now, since then, the guy that threw the popcorn, he's been suspended for the rest of the season of the 76er games, which, at this point, the way the series has been going, I don't think there's going to be any more 76er games. Could be wrong about that, man, but regardless. So that's a situation, garbage situation. Next up, we have, Trae Young at Madison Square Garden. Now, the last, by the way, I have to talk about this. It's not great, but it is funny, man. The fact that Trae Young has like an actual phobia of birds and he plays for the Hawks is already ironically funny in itself. But the fact of the matter that fans actually use that in like arenas, like they'll bring pictures of the birds to like scare him away, is even more ironically, stupidly funny. Because the logo on his shirt is a literal bird, man. I'm sorry, that just really cracks me up. But okay, so in game 2, there was a memo going around, I guess a sports memo going around saying that the fans of the Knicks are going to scream, Trae Young's balding, bam, 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 bam. And to me, that's okay. That's pretty dang harmless, man. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That I'm okay with. No issues with that. At that point, Trae Young can let his game do the talking. It's all part about getting in the player's head. There's nothing like just horribly being said. I mean, I get told about my hairline every damn day. Why do y'all think I wear a hat, man? I actually only wear hats on videos, believe it or not. But then there was another situation, I guess. Now, this one I'm not too familiar with, but I guess there was a circumstance where a fan actually spat at Trae Young. And people are like, okay, so Russell Westbrook, the popcorn thing, that guy gets suspended from, going to games. But the guy that's spitting at Trae Young, to me, that's even worse, bro. Yo, man, somebody's throwing popcorn at me, man. It's like gonna be like, damn, first day of the Christmas or first snow of the year. I'm gonna be up there with my tongue in the air. Hey, give me some of that. No, I'm not gonna be doing that. I don't want no stale popcorn that's probably been sitting there for 2 quarters in my mouth, man. But regardless, so spitting, garbage situation, balding chant, not bad. Now, if it gets to the point where like fans start chanting like racist stuff, well, that shit ain't gonna fly, man. That's not gonna fly. I don't think it would get to that because I feel like, okay, like one of my subscribers told me, they're like, I was asking about different situations like this, stuff that are going on, and people were talking about, Utah Jazz fans being racist, Boston Celtic fans being racist. I don't think that's the case. I know plenty of, I don't really know a lot of Jazz fans, to be honest. I know a lot of Celtic fans, and there's a lot of fine people out there. I don't think it's a matter of like to me, that's kind of stereotyping the situation. I don't think the fans are racist. I think there are racist fans, and that goes for any sort of sports team. And based off of the location of where you live in the world, there will be more and there will be less. That's just the sad fact of the matter, right, man? So I don't really like to kind of like group every single fan of a fan base like that. I just think it's completely wrong. Like, we got to let people allow them to show who they are as a person before you make that type of horrible opinion about them. But regardless, I do think that's a circumstance. And speaking of that, man, there was a Memphis Grizzlies game. I just read about this, saying that there actually had to be security around Ja Morant's family because people were just saying the horriblest of things to them. Once again, has nothing to do with the player. You're attacking this person's family. That's a completely wrong situation. You simply don't do that. I don't even care if, I mean, like I said, I said in the case of saying Trae Young's balling not being a big deal. But even saying something like that, I don't know what, I mean, I'm sure they're not saying that Ja Morant's family, but, just like a circumstance like that, like just like an insult, like a childish insult. I would say even doing that, like saying like doing that towards like Trae Young's like mother or something like that. That's uncalled for. She has nothing to do with the game. Leave her alone, right? Let her watch the game. So, yeah, as far as some other examples out there from Twitter, man, there was a Raptors fan that contacted me and said, well, when Kevin Durant went down against the Toronto Raptors, their fans were cheering about that. We all remember that. That wasn't too long ago. That's a pretty damn horrible situation. I feel like anytime you cheer for somebody being injured, you're a garbage person, plain and simple. There's no room in that for the sport whatsoever. The guy's already not playing, so to add the salt to the wound by cheering is ridiculous. And yeah, there's plenty of not Kyrie Irving. Well, actually, Kyrie Irving was one of the people talking about the Celtic fans. Like I said, I think it's a stereotype to an extent. I mean, I don't think every single fan of that team's like that, but there probably is quite a few, nonetheless. You got a lot of just different circumstances with Russell Westbrook. I was talking about him earlier, man, saying that he had a lot of runs, the Utah Jazz fans and stuff like that, man. That one dude in particular, that was a garbage dude. Yes, but now this brings up a new point. This morning, trending on my Twitter timeline, there was a lot of people saying that Ron Artest was in the complete right of fighting the fan at, Malice at the Palace. And you know what? I don't disagree with that. I feel like the fan that threw the stuff, the beer, at Ron Artest, he decided, he was in the complete right to get that Big Daddy beat down. The thing that I do have an issue with is that he punched the wrong guy. He went for the wrong guy. And in the moment he was heated and stuff, and You know, I mean, going for the wrong guy and not being 100% on, or like, sure, like that wasn't right. Like that's not justified whatsoever. And then the rest of like the fans and the players breaking out and stuff like that, pretty horrible situation. Really, man, with the era of YouTube boxing, I would have loved to just seen, you know, Ron Artest and Ben Wallace go at it, or Ron Artest and that fan. That would have been kind of fun. But yeah, the whole breakout, that was pretty damn unacceptable. There was a lot of, you know, innocent people and players. Even saying that statement though makes me feel bad. Like, to me, like players are people, so it just kind of feels weird saying players and people, but, you know, you kind of separate that just because it was, like, the fans against the players, right? They got injured and got hurt in that, so that really was not a great situation. But regardless, man, I mean, I feel like a lot of this is stuff that's just always happened, going back to the beginning of time of basketball and sports. Some of it needs to be addressed. If you're yelling racist remarks towards another player, or their family, or really anybody in general, don't be a racist, man. Just don't do that. Like, come on, man, use your damn head, bro. It's damn 2021. Just don't do that. But a lot of that stuff needs to be addressed. Anytime it gets physical, throwing popcorn, doing anything, spitting at somebody, which is even worse in my opinion. To me, spitting at somebody, that's actually close to like an assault charge. Now, I know people are going to have some different opinions on that. I don't care, bro. Like, that's just gross. That's nasty. You know, you do that anywhere, you know, you're going to get Big Daddy beat down. So, yeah, man, some of that stuff does need to be addressed. I think for years it went unaddressed just because there was always fans at the games, and it just always happened. So, and you didn't really hear it on TV or anything like that. So, people were like, well, it's not affecting the ratings of the NBA, so we're not going to do anything about it. But, yeah, this dude got caught in 4K dropping the popcorn and everything, so that's a big-time issue. I don't know, man. Just be a decent person. Let's all enjoy basketball. The NBA games are so much better with fans there. It's been such a long time since we've seen it. And now that it's back, let's not act a fool, bro. That's all I got for this video, guys. Gonna do my push-ups. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends. Okay, we got 1.5K likes right now. I just checked, man, so that's good for 15 push-ups. Let's do them perfectly, guys. Let's get it, man. Let me know how your guys' push-ups been, guys.